When they went to take the dress off, they had pinned through my skin. It didn't hurt, I literally felt nothing. There was no blood, nothing. But like, they were like, what is it caught on? It was my skin. Hi, Harper's Bazaar. This is Dove Cameron, and this is Fashion Flashback. Today, we will be looking back at some of my fashion moments, both beloved and less loved. This is from December 2013. Oh my God. So what I remember from this is picking it out myself. I think these are Citizen's jeans. Skinny jeans, very big at the time. I think this is a Wild Fox shirt, also very big at the time. And I remember matching my hair bow to my shoe bow. This like heavy side part swoop over thing happening, really good. The super, super overplucked eyebrows, really good. The glitter eyeshadow, also very strong choice. I've always been a fashion girl, clearly not evident in this photo. Whether or not it showed up on carpets for a while, you know, debatable. We're just gonna swiftly move on from that. This next look, I did have a stylist for this. I feel like you can sort of start to see the evolution of the sort of like more romantic, whimsical, gothic way that my style ended up going. I definitely remember loving this like Tim Burton-esque high neckline, lacy top. I definitely wouldn't pair it with this skirt now, or wear my hair down, or make many of these choices that I seemed to think were a good idea on this carpet. But I remember at the time thinking like, wow, this is a defining look. Also this pose, I have to love her. She said, look at the nails, look at the rings, look at the bag. Not a high point for me in fashion. So this, I think, is when you can start to see my style becoming more so what it is now. This sort of like dramatic, platinum slicked hair and this very gothic Cupid doll lip and the strappy, barely there, interesting design of this dress. I just remember thinking this was very daring at the time, like being on the Disney Channel and wearing something that felt very sexy and very adult. I was very excited to be wearing Balmain. Olivier, my husband, love of my life. This look came together super last minute for my very first VMAs. It was before I had attended as a nominee, and I was just there because I like really wanted to go. I love this look. I know it's really simple, and especially for the VMAs, it maybe feels a little underdressed. But there's something about it that is so nearly industrial and like very kind of Dune-esque. Like there's something about it that is so muted, so monochromatic. The industrial tie around the waist. Obviously, I love like an arm piece. I love anything that feels a little bit like armor, while also this feels very vulnerable, like the suede skirt and the fact that it's just a little strapless situation. The two materials being so different and the colors being just slightly off. I don't know, I love it. It like hits the right place in my heart. I either like to go all out or wear something so pared down that it feels bleak, like nearly emotionally bleak. The tattoo on the foot was a decision I made when I realized how closely tied in snakes were with historical shame for women. But I decided to reclaim the snake and make it feel powerful and sexy again. This one was my first time attending the Gucci Lakma event, and this was a vintage Gucci dress that my stylist at the time found for me. And again, there's a big snake on my chest. I was really excited about this. It was my first time sort of stepping away from my previous identity with the strong lashes and the strong cat eye and the long blonde hair and the sexier thing I was doing. And even though this may not seem like it, this was like a big night for me in terms of being like, oh, I can do this differently and survive. The CFDAs. This was a huge night for me. I was wearing this gorgeous Carolina Herrera gown. This is just one of my favorite dresses I've ever worn. It felt so classic and interesting and sculptural, and I love this very like campy big bow. I went with Wes Gordon, the creative director for Carolina Herrera, my other husband, Olivier and Wes. My amazing makeup artist did this very dramatic eye. We just decided to go full-blown femme, gothic, whimsical fantasy look, and it was my first time debuting this hair that ended up really being like a big part of my identity shift. I'd like never felt more like myself. This was like a sort of a visual indication of a page turn, but I was so happy. This was one of the more special nights in my whole life, the 2022 Met Gala. I went with Iris Van Herpen. I mean, if you could pick one person to go as your first ever Met date, I'm still like at a loss for words thinking about it. Because not only is she a visionary and a genius, she's so magical. Also, to be like nearly naked on the steps of the Met was something I'll never get over. I was like, guess I'm gonna be naked. Well, actually, so this is a funny story that I've never told, but they tried to make it to my measurements before it got to New York, but of course they had to alter it. The whole dress is being held together by like the finest mesh in the world. Like we're talking like spider web thin. All of these pieces are metal backed. They have fabric on top, which is what makes the arm pieces stand out and what makes everything hold in place. But literally one snag and the dress would be ruined. So when they were pinning it on me to alter it, we were pinning and I was holding a pose like this for over 2 hours, like just like this. It was so delicate that anytime anybody breathed, me or the tailor or anybody pinning, it was like a threat to the dress. So we were all like, but when they went to take the dress off, they had pinned through my skin. It didn't hurt, I literally felt nothing. There was no blood, nothing. But like, they were like, what is it caught on? It was my skin. And they were like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I didn't feel anything. Is the dress okay? Get the dress off. Okay, that's fashion, I guess. We were all like, it was kind of metal, actually. This was at the AMAs, and this is when I performed my first ever like live lounge version of Boyfriend. Within the Boyfriend era, like everything that we wanted to do was suiting, but at a certain point of like, how many times can you wear a suit? So we were trying to come up with all these little ways, like mega flare pants, sleeves that felt like they were like dripping blood, this little bra that goes with it, and heavy shoulder pads. Like this was the costume for like a year. Super comfortable. Sometimes wish I could go back. This was the 2023 VMAs. We won the Music Video for Good award. This was my very first ever custom look that I co-designed with a fashion house, which was Coach. We designed this incredible dress from scratch, this like barely there dress, and I was like, it's gonna just blow away in the wind, and again, I'm gonna be naked, but who cares, say la vie. This beautiful 90s square cut, backless, very sexy, mermaidy silhouetted dress. There's all these beautiful details too, like at the hem of the dress with the train, you can see there's like all this kind of gothic lace at the bottom, and there's like patches of lace along the hip bone and thigh.
What did you want people to immediately take away from this look when they saw it?
Looks fucking great. So the CFDAs, it's really such an honor to be working with Coach. I really love this dress. This look is really classic, very me. Feels like they really gave me a look that is like the perfect blend of the house and their aesthetic and sort of my aesthetic. Effortless, pared back, classic but fresh, sexy. It was one of my favorites on the runway at the show, and I was really excited to wear it. And then the look that we went for with hair and makeup was just sort of like sticking with siren eyes, hair pulled back to really show off the beautiful tailoring on the chest. All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming with me down memory lane for some of my favorite looks and some of my less than favorite looks. And my brand new album, Alchemical, is out now.